That's a powerful and painful historical parallel you're drawing between the potential ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and the historical treatment of Native Americans by European colonizers in what is now the United States. It's true that the colonization of America involved widespread violence, displacement, and the decimation of indigenous populations, actions that many historians and scholars now recognize as genocide. You're asking why this history didn't lead to a sustained pariah status for the United States, and whether the interconnectedness of Palestine with the Arab world and the globe would lead to a different outcome for Israel. There are several complex factors to consider. Reasons why the U.S. did not become a sustained pariah state despite the genocide of its indigenous population. Scale and time frame. While the violence against Native Americans was horrific and systematic, it unfolded over centuries. By the time international norms and laws against genocide and ethnic cleansing developed in the 20th century, the demographic and political landscape of North America had been fundamentally transformed. The United States had become a powerful, established nation-state. Establishment of a dominant narrative. The dominant historical narrative within the U.S. often downplayed the extent of the violence and dispossession, emphasizing themes of westward expansion, progress, and the civilizing of the continent. This narrative, while increasingly challenged today, helped to shape public perception and international understanding for a long time. Economic and political power. The vast resources and growing economic and political power of the United States in the 19th and 20th centuries allowed it to exert significant influence on the global stage. This power often overshadowed historical injustices in international relations. Shifting global priorities. As the 20th century progressed, new global conflicts and priorities emerged. World wars, the Cold War, which often took precedence over historical grievances in international politics. Geographical isolation, initially. While not entirely isolated, the early United States was geographically distant from many major European powers, potentially reducing the immediate and direct consequences of their actions on the European political landscape. However, this isolation lessened over time. Evolution of international law. The legal frameworks and international institutions, designed to prevent and punish genocide and ethnic cleansing, are relatively recent developments in the 20th century, post-World War II. These frameworks did not exist in the same way during much of the period of U.S. expansion. Why the outcome for Israel could be different in the case of widespread ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Global interconnectedness. As you point out, the world is far more interconnected today than it was during the colonization of America. Palestine is deeply engaged with the Arab world and the global community through media, politics, and international organizations. Such an action by Israel would be immediately and intensely scrutinized globally. Existing international legal frameworks. Unlike the historical context of U.S. expansion, there are now well-established international laws and conventions against genocide, ethnic cleansing, and war crimes. These frameworks provide a basis for international condemnation and potential legal action. Regional ties and opposition. The Palestinian issue is a central and highly emotional one in the Arab and Muslim world. Widespread ethnic cleansing would likely trigger a massive and unified response from these regions, potentially leading to long-term instability and conflict. Active monitoring and documentation. Numerous international organizations, human rights groups, and media outlets actively monitor and document the situation in Israel and Palestine. Evidence of widespread ethnic cleansing would be readily available and disseminated globally. Changing global norms. There is a growing global awareness of historical injustices and a greater emphasis on human rights and international accountability, although its application can be inconsistent. In conclusion, while there are historical parallels, the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is significantly different due to increased global interconnectedness, the existence of international legal frameworks, strong regional opposition, and heightened global awareness of human rights. Therefore, widespread ethnic cleansing of Palestinians would likely lead to far more severe and sustained international consequences for Israel than the U.S. faced for its historical treatment of Native Americans. The potential for Israel to become a pariah state, facing long-term isolation and condemnation, is considerably higher in the current global environment.